Alright, so I was just thinking about a couple of things with regards to elbows, and a lot of people who I've worked with, a lot of training clients that I've worked with have issues with their elbows, whether it's on the outside or the inside of their elbow. Most commonly though, medial epicondylitis or medial epicondyle joint stress on the inside part of the elbow there. And that could be a problem that has to do with a lot of different things. But most commonly what I see is when I got a big guy who comes in, or a guy who's pretty muscular, or a guy who's really strong, when they complain of this kind of elbow stress, we have to think about a couple of things. Number one, just like the knee joint is sort of like a prisoner to the hip joint, the elbow joint can kind of be a prisoner to the shoulder joint. So before I look right at the elbow joint for the problem or the source of the issue, I'll look at the issues that might surround the shoulder joint and whether or not there might be a lack of mobility there or a lack of strength on the reciprocal side of the muscle in order to help pull it into more range of motion. So one common thing that a lot of strong people, a lot of big people like to do often is squat. So when people have a barbell, pretending that this is a barbell, and they don't have good shoulder mobility, and they get into a back squat position like this, if the bar is positioned somewhere like this, then what could happen is their elbow, when they throw that underneath the bar like this to get in good position, their elbow is being wrenched on a whole lot because they actually don't have the requisite mobility that it takes in order to get the elbow underneath without it being pulled on. So my point is, unless their elbows are in a position something like this is way out of position, that's the only really position of comfort they're going to assume, and that's going to throw off their back squat unless they really screw it underneath like this. So with that said, looking at improving shoulder mobility through different mobility drills like a shoulder dislocate, where you hold a dowel like this, and you go through a movement like that, using a full range of motion, and other movements like that, those are things that are going to help improve the quality of the shoulder joint, and by a byproduct that's going to help improve the amount of joint stress relief that you feel on the elbow joint. Okay? That's going to come in to help other movements as well. For example, if you're immobile and you're trying to force yourself into an overhead press position and you see these swing back kind of positions to get into the right place in space, those are things that are going to help. Just shoulder mobility exercises like what I just showed you are going to help movements like that overhead press as well. So a couple of good quick tips for you to improve your shoulder health, as that's probably going to be the prime contributor to elbow stress when you're feeling that during exercises. So that's it.